What's up, guys? It is Carly here, bringing you day number 7 of my 31 Days of Horror 2021, and today I decided to go with a monster movie, again going along with the 22 Shots Challenge. This was one of the ones on the challenge, either a monster film or, a kaiju film like Godzilla or something like that, so figured this counts enough, and that is Tremors from, I believe, the year 1990, if I'm not mistaken, 90 or 89, don't forget, I do forget, I'm gonna have to look that up afterwards, but either way, Tremors, this is a film that JP actually gave me, this Arrow edition, which is pretty cool. I love these Arrow box sets, very, very nice box sets. They're just really thick. They're unlike other ones, like Scream Factory, they put out sets, but they're kind of flimsy. I think Vinegar Syndrome does a pretty good job too, but either way, Tremors, this film essentially is about these two handymen, I suppose, named Val and Earl, and they're played by Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward. And they kind of live in this really small, deserted town, literally deserted. It's in the middle of the desert, called Perfection. And, they're kind of just bored with life, but then suddenly some weird stuff starts happening and people are winding up dead, and it's kind of like, what the heck? And it turns out there are these giant creatures underground, under the sand, that are attacking people and killing them and, kind of just sucking them into the earth. So these characters, along with some other ones within the town, have to try to stop it and, just figure out what's going on. This is a movie that I've watched several times at this point, and, I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, Carly, how dare you, but I'm really not a big fan of it, if I'm being completely honest. It's really not my taste. For one, I'm not a big creature feature person to begin with, and that's very much what this is. And also, it's kind of... It's a humorous movie, there's a lot of comedy wedged into it. Not even wedged in, it's just like the whole thing is kind of lighthearted and comedic throughout it, and I don't know, it doesn't really work for me. I don't really find it all that funny or amusing, personally. It's very kid-like. This seems like a film that, I could see maybe if I grew up watching it, I would love it, but I didn't. It's one I always had heard of and then didn't watch it until later on in life, so I don't really have any nostalgia for it or anything like that. I don't really connect with the characters too much. But, with that being said, I do think it's a good film. I'm definitely not knocking the movie. I think it has a good cast with Kevin Bacon, Fred Ward, and the other names in the film are escaping me, but there's some other good actors. I think Reba's actually in this movie, so there are some good people in the film. Definitely good acting, and I think they all play off each other very well. There's a very good relationship going on, despite me not really liking it too much. I think it's solid for what they were trying to do. I do like the deserted setting. I always love movies that are set in a completely deserted, middle of nowhere town, and, just being in the desert makes it all the more better. Kind of like The Hitcher, that's another one that's kind of, he's driving through like the desert sort of area. I really dig that. It just makes it, the atmosphere better because they're really in the middle of nowhere and they're kind of screwed. I think the monsters look good. You don't really see them up close and personal too much because they're mainly underground, but when you do, I think they do a pretty good job with that. And yeah, that's pretty much all I really have to say on the movie. Like I said, I'm not a major fan of it. I know this is a good comfort movie for a lot of people. I know JP is a big fan of it, as well as the whole franchise. And I know that, the franchise as a whole is actually pretty strong. I've only seen this one, and actually, that's a lie. I think I've seen 4 of them, but I don't really remember them a whole lot, if I'm being completely honest, because, I just didn't really care for the whole storyline too much. But anyway, like I said, I still think it's a good movie, so with that factoring in, I would give this a 7 out of 10 because it's a solid made movie. I can't argue with that. It's just not really for me, so yeah, 7 out of 10 for Tremors. Thank you guys once again for joining me here for day number 7 of my 31 Days of Horror 2021. And of course, I'll see you tomorrow for day number 8.